Greetings, hope you're doing well. Today I'm doing a quick review of the newest album from Marilyn Manson titled We Are Chaos. Gothic icon Marilyn Manson is back with a new full-length album to add to his already pretty lengthy discography 3 years after the release of Heaven Upside Down, an album that saw Manson kind of playing with sounds of punk and furthering his on and off relationship with glam rock. I thought it was a solid record, being more of a return of form for Manson after a very rough skid of like mediocre to flat out bad albums during the mid 2000s to like early 2010s time span. So with We Are Chaos, my expectations were lax to say the least. Manson seldom has ever like changed or shifted his sound at any point in his career, but I just wanted to hear what kind of sound he would emphasize on this album, considering his tendency to kind of lean on specific subgenres on various albums. And here on We Are Chaos, it is a surprisingly balanced mix of like gothic, nu metal, and alternative rock. Kicking off the album is Red, Black, and Blue, which is a silent, raging opener with sinister vocals, capsized riffs, and Manson portraying a supernatural entity of some sort. The loud and abrasive finisher was a nice touch. The title track maintains this noisy groove. Manson is clearly showing his Bowie influence on his vocals, where he was talking about how humans are the literal embodiment of chaos because of how unpredictable they are and just how many factors go into making a human, essentially. The lyrics are a bit on the nose for my liking, and the hook is sung excessively for a 3-minute track, but I still really came to enjoy it. I can say the same thing about the following track, Don't Chase the Dead. The over-reliance on refrains are questionable, but has a great rhythm and groove to it that's able to mitigate that issue here, though that's not the case on the back half of this album. But before I get to that though, this track, Paint You With My Love, sports an interesting contrast between like a romantic acoustic bass first half and a ghastly explosive second half where Manson is screaming his lungs out. And the song Halfway and One Step Forward is another great track on here, great performances instrumentally and vocally. It is one of the more well-produced songs on the album. We Are Chaos is a very front-loaded experience in my opinion, meaning that the first half of this album is where it is at its strongest, because the second half loses quite a bit of steam. Infinite Darkness, while having a heavy-ass instrumental with roaring guitars and bludgeoning drums, has some really sloppy vocal delivery. It just throws the entire track off. Keep My Head Together really had nothing but intrigue that stood out to me. It was just kind of there. Not bad, but not really memorable for me either. And the track Salve Coagula, or at least that's the way Manson pronounces it, just suffered from over repetition of the chorus, and the subpar groove of the track really could not stand out amongst how prominently the vocals are mixed on this track. But I thought the track Perfume and the closure Broken Needle were salvageable. I particularly like the topic of Broken Needle, where Manson is comparing death to the life cycle of like a record, where once you have perished from existence or memory, you get put away, which is fitting considering how much Manson talks about death on this album. But yeah, I think this is his sturdiest album in a while, though I did have issues with how barren the songwriting can be on most of the record. He was able to supplement that issue most of the time with some memorable melodies and instrumentals. Long story short, it's solid. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about this album. I'd give it a